Hello, and welcome to Alchemy Mindset. I'm your host, Anna Hasty, business mindset coach for women and a sound healer. If you are ready to become the most aligned, magnetic, and confident businesswoman you are worthy and deserving of being, then this show is for you. This is where I share everything from mindset, energy, and spirituality, and how to embody your future self in business and life. Sprinkle that with deeply relaxing sound healings and meditations, and you have the Alchemy Mindset podcast. Hit subscribe so you always get the latest episode. Now let's begin. Hello. Welcome back to this episode of Alchemy Mindset with Anna Hasty. It's such a pleasure to share this episode with you today. Let's get started, right? So in this episode today, I'm sharing with you how I guide my clients to shift a single belief in under 90 minutes. Now, if you're familiar with my coaching offers, you will know that I offer either a 90-minute transformational intensive session, which also comes with 5 days of WhatsApp support afterwards, or a longer coaching series of 3 months where we really deep dive into everything about you and your business and get your mindset on track and on board to support you as you move and grow and build that successful, thriving business of your dreams. So in a 90-minute session, whether you do the one-off one with me or it's in the 3-month series, you always get a 90-minute coaching session with me. I love helping my clients shift and transform a single belief. And it's so quick and it's easy. I can do this in under 90 minutes. And in actual fact, it actually takes about, you could probably say just over 30 minutes, because I lead my clients through 2 really powerful techniques, and the shift and change that happens within that time is profound. Now, I've experienced these shifts before. I've done these techniques on myself before, and I love them. Like the feeling of clarity and freedom and that it's just not there anymore is remarkable. So now I want to share with you a scenario. I want to share with you a case study of a client I've been recently working with. She is about to start her business, about to step out into the entrepreneurial world and share her wisdom and knowledge as a spiritual healer, tarot reader, and meditation teacher. And she is really excited to do this because she is ready. She knows 100% she is ready and this is what she wants to do. But she has some really big underlying beliefs that are holding her back from stepping out and sharing this part of her life and identity, because a lot of people don't actually know this side of her, as well as actually starting the business, actually putting those tangible, mechanical, strategical steps in place, like, getting a logo, talking to someone about graphic design, starting your Facebook or Instagram pages, even just sharing information with people, maybe even creating a business card. All those little immediate business steps that are key to actually putting yourself out there, right? So she's identified a particular belief that she feels like is keeping her stuck and from actually stepping forwards. And the belief she identified was that she doesn't trust herself to make good decisions and choices. In her words, it was, I just don't trust myself. Now, she felt like this came from her early childhood and has been sitting in the background, keeping her stuck and stopping her from putting herself out there and actually getting this business off the ground. So once we identified what the belief was, we went through 2 techniques to shift this belief from not trusting herself to having the absolute belief that she trusts herself to make good decisions. So the first technique we did was called the single belief change technique. Now, this is where we change the basic language of the mind to change the way we encode thoughts and ideas. So in this process, we change what the thoughts mean and change the way we feel about those things. We store our feelings and meanings of everything in our life in what is called a holographic filing cabinet. And we can switch the meaning of something as simply as moving one file to another within that filing cabinet. So how we do this is by changing what's called submodalities of how we store the information. And we do this through a single belief change technique. In this technique, I rapid fire questions in response to 4 current beliefs. So the first one is the belief that you wish you no longer had, the one that you really want to change. So in the case of my client, it was the one that she didn't believe she could trust herself. It's the limiting negative belief we're shifting first. Then I rapid fire questions to the second belief that you used to have and that is no longer true. So for example, the age you were 5 years ago, or somewhere where you used to live but you don't now. One other great example is that Santa Claus isn't real, which sometimes I actually feel bad for actually putting in there because some people might believe Santa Claus is still real. So I usually try to choose something like practical, like an address where you used to live, a country or a town where you used to live and you don't currently now, or how old you were a few years ago, etc. And then I rapid fire some questions at you for the third belief that you know is true. So the current day of the week it is, that the sun will rise tomorrow, or your actual birthday of this year. So you actually have a belief that you know is absolute true, like nothing could change that belief because you know that is true. And then I rapid fire questions to a belief you want to have. And this is your new belief that is the opposite of the limiting one. Now, with those answers you give me to those questions, I basically tally them up in a way and see where there's matches, and I help you shift and change and lock in the new beliefs based on this whole process. It's really simple, it's really easy, and it's fast. Now, what happens is that I'll ask you at the end, is that old belief still there or has it just gone now? And I look for hearing your response or my client's response. What is it that they've noticed about that old belief and how are they feeling now about the new one? And I can tell you, I can guarantee the new one always feels so much powerful, much stronger, and more in place than it ever did before. There's like no question. There's no wavering thoughts of, oh, yeah, it's there, but it's not strong. It's not like it fills the room in terms of this is a new belief. And the old one just feels like it's disappeared. But I like to marry this whole process up with the time technique. Now, this is my absolute favorite. I do this a lot for myself technique where I'm actually guiding my clients to the root cause, the actual first moment within their timeline as to when this belief first occurred. Because here's the thing. You have a timeline. You actually have lots of timelines. You have lots of timelines. They intersect. They overlap. We can jump backwards and forwards. It's amazing what we know now about quantum physics and timelines. But somewhere on your timeline, whether it's in this lifetime or a past lifetime or even a generational past lifetime, so say, for example, it happened in your grandmother's timeline, or perhaps it happened, even further back into your lineage. Maybe it's in a past life where you were not who you are now, but you were living a completely different life existence somewhere else, but this happened. Or it happened in this lifetime. It could have happened when you were in the womb. It could have happened at the time of birth. It could have happened between the ages of 0 to 7 when you're in that place of the subconscious mind where you haven't yet developed your critical faculty of being able to make choices or decisions and have that critical thinking and logic. We actually go and identify the root cause. Now, the reason why is because we're literally shifting and changing the emotions and the thoughts and the feelings around it, and then applying the learnings that we gain from that root cause and applying that across your timeline all the way back to now. Because I can guarantee this root cause of the thing you have, this belief about yourself, didn't just start yesterday, and it didn't start at that one point and did not ever affect you ever again. No, it's continued to affect you throughout your life, throughout your lives, and up until this moment in time. Now, this is my favorite. This is my favorite technique. I do this meditation a lot, and I have shifted so many really interesting things. Like when we were learning, this is going to be a really fun one, not even business related, but I've always had this belief that I'm not very good at sports, and particularly playing ball sports. Like I just can't catch a ball to save my life. That was then. This is now. But I've never really been interested in playing ball. I never liked doing like football or basketball or netball. They were never my thing growing up as a child. And I've often had this belief that I'm just crap at catching a ball. I'm crap at ball sports, that I'm just not good at it. And when I was learning this, so this is a few years ago, when we were learning this actual technique, I went on the time technique journey to clear the root cause of this belief. Now, I went back into a past life where I was a baseballer. I felt like it was like in the 1920s or something like that. And I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball for the team. And I wasn't good enough anymore. And that was the belief there, that I was just not good at ball sports. Whether I was professional, whether I was a kid playing on some amateur league, who knows? But from that moment, there was this belief that I wasn't good at ball sports. I tell you what, this is so cool. I tell you what, if someone throws a ball to me these days, I marvel at myself. I am in awe at how well I can catch a ball. I feel like I can catch a ball so much better than I ever could before. Like, I used to have this fear that the ball I'd reach out and the ball would just brush through my fingers and disappear. I'm like, no. Now, watch me go. Someone throws a ball, I can catch it. Sometimes I'm just catching it with one hand out there. So this is the thing. This is how cool this belief is. So when I did this with my client, the one who had the belief that she didn't trust herself, we went back to this root cause. It came actually out in this lifetime. She felt it was somewhere in the age of 2, and somewhere in there she had this belief that she wasn't able to trust herself to make good decisions and choices. But the learnings she gained from this experience, from tapping into that moment, were really profound, were really beautiful. Things like trusting herself, forgiveness, she's okay, she's safe, love, a whole lot of other things came through. And then she applied those learnings coming back to this present moment now. So she's actually shifted and changed so much. It's like what I like to see, this ripple effect. It's almost like you could imagine like a wave being pushed through a timeline, and it's actually just pushing through and it's having that ripple effect. It's not only affecting her now, but it's affecting people in her lives and other things. Like, the energy and the shifts around that are just incredible. Now, I will say this, you can't go back in time and actually change that moment. That's not possible. We haven't developed, maybe we have, we just don't know it yet. But there's no way we can actually physically go back in time and actually change that actual moment. But we're changing how we feel and the beliefs and the decisions that were created around that moment. So that when I asked her, is that belief there anymore, or is it just gone now? How do you feel about that old belief? She said, it's just gone now. It's like, it's not there. It's just clear. It's just gone away. And that's why I love these 2 techniques to shift a belief, a single belief, in under 90 minutes. I know, right? It sounds too good to be true. So if you're sitting there right now listening going, wow, I've got some seriously big limiting beliefs about myself and my business and the work that I'm doing and what it is that I want to create and how I want to see myself, all the things that we have, money mindset beliefs around being good enough or smart enough, or imposter syndrome beliefs, or confidence beliefs, or beliefs around networking or being social or being seen, or all the things, right? Like, how many beliefs do we have about ourselves that just constantly beat ourselves up, keep us stuck, keep us in that lower place of not moving forwards and believing that things aren't possible for us, but for everybody else? Now, if you've got beliefs like that, if you've got feelings and emotions like that, we can shift it, because it isn't permanent and it's not a tattoo. This can be shifted and changed for the better, for the good, for your own, amazing life that you truly deserve. And we all deserve that. We all have the power to have that. If that sounds like something you are ready to do, jump into a 90-minute coaching session with me. Let's change this in under 90 minutes. If you're not quite ready to do that, but you want to do some work for yourself, please jump into my resources link. It's a little shop I have. I'll put the link in the show notes. Jump in there and check out some of the meditations, the EFT tapping that I have there, and get started on shifting and transforming your mindset. When you start acting on this and doing small incremental things, like just listening to a subliminal when you're working or doing some EFT tapping, you're actually doing mindset work that's helping you change for the better. I believe in you. I believe you can do this. I believe it's your time and you're ready for the next step. Let's do this. So if you have any questions as well about these techniques and how they may apply for you, whether it's relevant for you right now, also just jump into a clarity call. I'll put that link down there. Let's have a chat. Let's find out if this is the right step for you, if I can support you in this moment. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be real. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to try and sign you up if it's not right for you. Let's just chat. Totally fine. It's awesome. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for listening as always. Thank you so much for being part of the show. Thank you for sharing all the love. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to today's episode. Please rate and review this podcast so that it can continue to thrive and reach more listeners. I love to know who my listeners are, so please screenshot this episode and tag me on Instagram at Anna F. Hasty. And I look forward to connecting with you in the next episode.